What's up, guys? Avilo here, and this is Metagame Update number 25. I actually already did Metagame Update number 24, I just haven't uploaded it yet. But yeah, I just needed to get some thoughts out here about the current metagame, and I'm not sure how to put this, but the game is fucked up a little bit. So I was just watching Pro League, and let me describe the game that just happened in Pro League. Maru, of course. First of all, let me set this up. For all of this next coming week, Pro League, there are no more Terrans playing. You heard me correctly. There are zero. Maru was this was the last match with Terran for this entire week of Pro League games, and there's like, you know, GSL, there's like 3 Terrans in Codas or some shit. But anyways, yeah, no more. So that's the first thing. No more Terrans, at least in Pro League this next week. That's the first thing. So second thing, Maru versus Trap. I mean, this is just a prime example of what's wrong with StarCraft 2 right now, especially Protoss, especially TVP in particular. So Maru loses to a Dark Templar build. On the surface, if you're an uneducated viewer, or if you just are looking at it like at face value, you're like, oh, he didn't have turrets and he used his mules, that's why he lost, he deserved to lose. But it has nothing to do with why he lost. Let me get into the psychology here, and the main issue with TVP that I've said 5,000 times. I actually have metagame updates from months ago describing the issue. Nothing has been done about it. And you guys know the recently proposed balance changes to nerf the mothership core cannon and the time warp, give it more. Those actually won't address any of this at all either. So why did Maru lose to the Dark Templars? Why did Maru mule? Let's first of all blink all in. Well, Maru did not Reaper expand. He tried to go for a different build, which you can't do. Reaper is just the best. Reaper is the only viable build in TVP, and why is that? That's because every other build is shut down by the mothership core. You can only, and you need the Reaper to scout which all-in the Protoss is doing, or if the Protoss is doing a macro game. So that's the first thing. Second thing, so Blink right now, with, you know, the mothership core, Blink all-ins, they're really fucking powerful. They're too powerful. They're imbalanced. But this is important for the game because Maru, the way TVP is right now, and this is, you know, I said this months ago, guys. I'm repeating the same thing. If you're honestly watching this and you're thinking to yourself, well, Avilo, aren't you repeating the same thing you have been for months? Yeah, I am, because the same thing hasn't been addressed or fixed for months. It's still like this. So Maru, you know, he saw 2 stalkers or whatnot. He had his bunker up. He thought he made the best guess that he could that it was a blink all-in headed his way. Not to mention the metagame, blink all-ins are powerful enough that if you don't defend the blink all-in and they blink all-in you, then you die. So how do you defend a blink all-in? You have to mule against a blink all-in. If you do not mule against somebody doing like a 1-base blink all-in or even 2-base blink all-in, you won't have the money to defend the blink all-in, because you need the bunkers, you need a turret, maybe a sensor tower. You actually have to pull SCVs off to repair the bunkers, which loses you more money. So the reason Maru lost the game was because of the metagame and Protoss having way too many options to all-in compared to the Terran. He lost because he thought, okay, he's going blink all-in, and he clicked his mules, he started building a bunker in his main on top of his ramp, or in his base, because you need a bunker in your main, sometimes even 2 bunkers to defend the blink all-in. Turns out it was DTs, auto loss. The game's over. The game's over there. And this is a problem. It's a lot of things. The Oracle speed was buffed. Warp Prism speed was buffed. DT Shrine price was reduced. The Oracle also detects. All of these things are are contributing factors. Also, the mothership core has 14 vision range, and you know, it cuts costs, letting the Protoss do blink all-ins that hit a lot sooner and don't need observers or the robo. So all of these factors contribute to TVP being in. It's a terrible. It's terrible matchup at the moment. And I mean, so Maru lost because he thought it was blink all in and it was DTs. And I mean, I'm left speechless, because if this is how the game is gonna stay for the next year, I can't see. And I hate to be cynical and stuff, because I play StarCraft. I guess you could say a personality or a player or you know, a streamer in the community. So I want StarCraft to do well, because that's part of what I'm doing right now, essentially, to make money. So keep that in mind. I do not want StarCraft to die. Much like every other player that enjoys playing this game for whatever reasons, whether it's just for fun, whether they're a pro, whether they doing it to stream, etc. So it's a matter of when is this going to be fixed or addressed. There's a lot of things they can do to fix it, to fix TVP, and instead of suggesting stuff to Blizzard like I have in the past, I'm just going to actually tell them what to do right now, because suggestions apparently don't get through to them. They don't take any feedback from the community, as far as I can see, considering their last balance patch update, where they're actually buffing the ghost to improve Mech, which is it's stupidity at its finest. So rather than suggesting things for Blizzard to do, I'm actually just going to fucking tell them what to do right now. And you guys can decide whether these suggestions are incredibly fucking biased, coming from a mostly Terran player perspective, or whether they would be legitimate suggestions that would actually help fix TVP being so one-sided, being such a one-sided affair. So here's the first thing. This is not a suggestion for Blizzard. This is me telling Blizzard what the fuck to do. First thing, mothership core vision range. Reduce it severely. This will eliminate blink all-ins, or if the Protoss wants to do blink all-ins on all these maps that have these huge fucking bases, like Frost and Heavy Rain and whatnot, if they severely nerf the mothership core range, the vision range, here's what it does. It does a couple things. A, it makes it riskier. It makes the all-in riskier, because those one-base blink all-ins in particular rely on the mothership core to have an insane vision to get into the Terran's main and to be able to kite unupgraded Marines and Marauders. So that's the first thing. That's the first thing it does. Make the vision range like 5 or 4 or something, so that maybe even remove vision from the mothership core. Something that might be a little too crazy, but once again, reduce the vision. I would say to like 5 or 6 or something, and that'll eliminate a lot of the blink all-ins. Well, they'll still remain. It's just that they'll actually have more risk to them, because if the mothership core dies, the blink all-in is over. So that's the first thing. The other thing that does is that will make it so Terran players can wall off their ramp again. That's right. Something so overlooked in this matchup right now. Terran players usually don't wall off their ramp. Why don't Terrans wall off their ramp much? Or why is it sort of dangerous to do that? It's because the mothership core, 14 vision range, stalkers can just camp at the bottom and then kite unupgraded Marines and whatnot, so do that. If they nerf the vision, that'll let Terrans wall off. That'll also nerf blink all-ins. Second thing here, the photon overcharge. Reduce the duration to 30 seconds. Yes, that's right, 30 seconds. Not 50, not 40, not 60 as it currently is. 30 seconds. Cut it in half of what it currently is. Or if you want to be, just fucking cut it in half. This is something that does not belong in StarCraft 2. there should not be something in a competitive game of this nature where a player clicks a button, they're literally clicking a button, and they're able to defend something from the opponent, and the opponent is exerting like 3 or 4 times or 5 times the effort of what it took you to make one button press to defend your base. It either just needs to be fucking removed or reduce the duration to 30 seconds. That's the first thing. Time warp. Blizzard says they want to increase the energy on time warp and make it cost 100 energy. You know what I would say to that? I would say make it cost 125 energy. Make there be a decision so you can't cast 2 time warps in a row, or you can't cast. And the other thing, photon overcharge, besides the duration, it needs to be 125 energy as well, so that you cannot cast 2 of them in a row. That is absurd. It's absurd that you can have 2 overcharges basically covering your entire base. That just needs to go. So those are some things. Nerf the mothership core vision range, increase the energy on the abilities to 125, as well as the duration of the overcharge. So that's the first thing. I mean, really. Oh, and here's the other thing. Revert the Oracle. Once again, I'm not suggesting this. I'm telling Blizzard to fucking do it, because at this point they don't know what the fuck they're doing, and they need somebody to tell them what to do. So revert the Oracle back to its previous speed. It needs to happen. It's way too fucking fast. It's a gimmicky coin flippy unit. It's frustrating for all skill levels, whether you're a pro gamer, whether you're a GM, Grandmasters player, whether you're a fucking Silver Leaguer. It is infuriating and frustrating to play StarCraft and have your opponent fly 1 unit into your base. And once again, this is one of those things, it's not balanced in terms of the cost-effort ratio associated with it. It's so easy to do. It's completely luck-based on whether or not they proxy the Stargate. You just guess whether or not they did it, and if you built a turret, then, you know. The other thing with Oracles is they always kill things against Terran. There's no Oracle, like, it's always going to do some damage. The only times it doesn't do damage is when the Protoss player goes brain dead, which I guess might happen a lot. But yeah, revert the Oracle speed. That's the next thing. Here's another thing. Okay, the DT Shrine needs to go back to Wings of Liberty price. Once again, too many options, too many opening game options for Protoss. Put the DT Shrine back. What was it at? It was at like 250 gas in Wings of Liberty. Put it at something extreme. This is also for Protoss versus Protoss to reduce some of the build order luck in that matchup as well. And same thing, the Oracle change affects PvP as well. But yeah, too many options for Protoss. Too many options. Put the DT Shrine back. Trying to think here. Oh, okay, here's the next thing. Once again, not a suggestion telling Blizzard to do it, because right now, if the game stays like this, you're not gonna have any turns playing. So the next thing, and this was suggested by me once again, months ago, and by many other people on forums in various places. I've seen the same suggestion. The engineering bay. Make it so you don't need to build an eBay to build turrets. This will allow Terran to defend against stuff like DTs, Oracles, Phoenixes, like all sorts of stuff. It'll help Terran defend. Once again, all these different all-ins that can hit you. Because if somebody proxies a Stargate on the map and you don't have an eBay, a lot of times you'll just lose, because you need the engineering bay to even start a missile turret. But let's say that they proxy a Stargate and you scout the Stargate, you can immediately throw up a turret in your mineral line, and then you have some sort of defense available to you against something that would have been an automatic loss and would have taken no effort on the Protoss player's part. He just flies the Oracle into your base and kills you. now there's counterplay to that. Like, oh, okay, I can throw up a turret. Or, oh, he went DTs, I can throw up a turret, even if I didn't have an eBay. Or, oh, he went Blink Stalkers. Great, I didn't invest that 125 minerals into an engineering bay that I didn't need. So that will alleviate a lot of the TVP early game problems as well. Just, you know, cutting the cost there. So those are some TVP changes. Honestly, it's the same thing, guys. They need to do changes to make it so Protoss isn't easy as fuck. I mean, that's the honest truth. All right, so next thing. Here's the next thing. And this is about Mech TVP. Let me discuss the metagame that's been going on lately. A lot more players are playing Mech against Zerg. Turns out a lot of people have copied my Mech style into, you know, playing Mech into late game Ravens, accumulating that. Everybody knows that watches my stream, that's seen me play. You know, I was one of the forerunners, probably of that particular style, and a lot of people have, of course, learned finally. And with that comes the counter whining of it being OP after people have no idea how to play against it. So, TVZ, we're seeing a lot more Mech. Why? Well, the Widow Mine was nerfed to hell, right? The Hellbat was nerfed, the Widow Mine was nerfed. Basically, like, Mech is almost superior, I would say superior to Bio at the moment, because of the fact the Widow Mine was nerfed. Mech is just flat out better in a lot of cases. It's more cost efficient. It's just better. I mean, there's not much to say. And so you're seeing a lot more Swarmhost games, which of course is bad because the Swarmhost is terribly designed. And because we're seeing more Swarmhosts, because we're seeing more Mech, we're seeing more Swarmhosts. And now everybody's saying, oh shit, Swarmhosts are pretty stupid. And because we're seeing more Swarmhosts, of course, you know, once again, I developed the counter to this by going into like the Raven accumulation in late game for the point defense drone, because that's the only way Mech can fight against Swarmhosts. So because Terran players are going Mech, Zergs are going Swarmhosts because Swarmhosts are insanely stupid and broken against Mech. So Terrans are building the only thing they can against Swarmhosts, which is the Raven, which leads to probably the longest, most turtly games possible. And then, of course, people are complaining about that. But so what is the root of the problem here? It's the Swarmhost design. Mech sucks without Ravens. Let's just be honest here. I said this a while ago, but the only reason Mech works against Zerg is because you have the Raven. Any competent Zerg, if they see you're going Mech, they're just gonna mass Muta and then tech switch into Swarmhost, or go Swarmhost and go back and forth between the two. And the only way to counter that cost efficiently is by turtling into Ravens, because it's actually hard to attack into free stuff. And you see the same problem against Zerg versus Protoss. Swarmhosts it's like the same thing. They're too good against Protoss. They're boring. They make the game take an hour long. So, is the issue here the Raven? Is it Mech? It's a combination of the Swarmhost being too good and being terribly designed. It needs a redesign or it needs a balance change. And it's a combination of Mech also sort of sucking, right? I'm trying to try to imagine Mech without Ravens, guys. I want you to try and imagine that for a moment. Imagine that the game did not have the Raven in it right now, and imagine Mech was how it currently is. Mech would be complete and utter fucking trash. It would be so bad. You would never be able to ever attack. The only reason you can play Mech against competent Zergs that know how to play against it is with the Raven in late game. And that's because of the Swarmhosts, once again. So, really, the root of the matter is the Swarmhost, TVZ. The Swarmhost is what's making for these incredibly stupid, turtly stalematey games. And also the fact that tanks suck, which brings me to my next mech thing here. In the TVP mech. Are we ever going to see this by, maybe by 2016 from Blizzard? They haven't done any meaningful changes to mech, and the only change that they said they were going to do for mech TVP is to remove the Mobius reactor upgrade from the Ghost. Which basically says they're not going to do anything. They're doing nothing for mech. So, once again, I'm going to tell Blizzard what the fuck to do here. If they want more than just bio against Protoss, here's what you do. Armory price, 100 minerals, 50 gas. It was like that in Brood War, guys. It's tried and tested, 14 years, 13 years, however the fuck long Brood War's been out, 15 years, I don't know. Armories cost 100 minerals and 50 Vespian gas in Brood War. They cost that much in Starbow, too. They're too... Like, that's a gas cost that doesn't need to be there, and mineral cost in StarCraft 2 mech. Just reduce the price of the armories. That helps out a lot. Second thing, against Protoss, increase siege tank damage to Protoss shields by like 15 or 20. I would say like 15. What would that do? That would put the tank damage back up to what it was before it was nerfed, specifically against Protoss. They would do 50 50 damage against everything Protoss. So tanks wouldn't suck anymore. Do it, Blizzard. We want mech before 2016, please. Before Legacy of the Void. But yeah, what else here? What's the final thing? I went over TVP, I went over Swarmhosts. Trying to think, guys. There's not really much else to... I mean, okay, so here's another thing I want to mention. You know something is imbalanced as fuck when the casters that are casting the games have to make up, like, stupid phrases to fill airtime when, you know, I just heard... As Trap was sending DTs into Morrow's base for the free win, I actually heard a caster say, DT control. That's right. A caster said DT control. And the reason he said it was because there was nothing to say at the time. Because the casters watching the game knew what was happening was probably really stupid and is not it's more poker than StarCraft. So he just... You know, that's another caster phrase. You know something is imbalanced when the casters are just making shit up to fill to make something sound like it takes skill. When me and you, the spectators, and the casters themselves know that that it's broken and that it took no skill to execute. So that's like... It's like, you know, amazing fungal when that was like the phrase casters did in 2011, 2010 for Broodlord Infestor. Everybody knew it was broken. The casters did. They just couldn't. No one had the balls to say anything about it. And so yeah, we're starting to see this crop up in TVP where it's like amazing size storms or beautiful storms. Nice DT control. What the fuck? Come on. Like, really? No. Come on. DT control, really? Yeah, that was great SCV control. Sending his worker to go mine minerals. That's the type of, you know, that's the type of thing that is... It's similar in nature to that. Great SCV control. Great mule control! He called it down on the minerals. So yeah, guys. So this metagame update has been metagame update number 25, mostly about Terran versus Protoss. They need to fix this shit pretty quickly. I mean, this is what, the 4th, 5th, 6th metagame update I've made about Terran versus Protoss in particular. I will keep fucking making these until they balance the damn game. I will make these every week if I have to. You guys, I will keep making these until Blizzard balances TVP and makes it not such a shit show. Because that's what it is right now, it's a shit show. Everybody watching TVP, everybody that casts it, it's a shit show. It's not StarCraft right now. It's not worthy of being called StarCraft. And it's actually hurting it, whether it's now or a month or two from now. It's actually gonna hurt viewership if the game remains, if Terran vs. Protoss remains as imbalanced as it is right now. It will hurt the viewership. Remember, I've said it before. The thing that hurts the viewership the most isn't necessarily casters. It's not necessarily the players. It's the gameplay. The gameplay of the game has to come first. If there's obviously stupid stuff or imbalanced stuff in the game and it's not being addressed, that will hurt viewership. It doesn't matter what I say about the game or what any other caster or streamer or personality or viewer says about the game. It comes down to the gameplay. Is it fun to watch? Is it interesting? Or is the same shit over and over again, and is something blatantly like unfair for one of the players? And right now, I would say TVP is blatantly unfair for the Terran player in the matchup. So yeah, I'll keep making these. You guys can fucking dare me to make these. I will make these till the game is balanced, till TVP at least. I would encourage Zergs to go Swarmhost every game against Protoss so that they feel our pain at knowing something is absurdly broken and that they have no efficient way to stop it. Although actually Protoss can stop that because Protoss is imba as fuck. Anyways, I'm sort of getting off topic here, guys. I guess that's the end here. That's it. I will keep fucking making these until it's balanced, until Blizzard does something that is actually meaningful to affect the balance of the game. Because right now it looks like they're being so timid with their changes that they're going to run their own game into the ground. At least Terran versus Protoss, and there's not many Terrans left. So yeah, that's it, guys. Thank you for watching this. If you stayed all the way through this video, you're crazy, but you're cool. Look out for another video from me. I'm gonna make one after this about my streaming stuff going on with my streaming, what I'm gonna be doing, my stream schedule. Yeah, just some stuff about my stream. So thanks for watching, guys. This has been Metagame Update number 15. Please spread this around. Spread the word. If you're in stream chats, chat away, but let it be known as a spectator you're not too happy with this shit. If it's just gonna be Protoss everywhere. So yeah, peace out, guys. See you guys later.